Hello, my name is Sheryl Callista. I am from 10 Science 8. So today I want to tell you a story about someone who inspires me. One of the inspiring people in my life is my grandmother. Her struggle to survive in the Dutch colonial period and in the struggle for her desire to achieve her goals makes me amazed and so proud of her. She is the person who is a role model for me now and can also be an inspiration for everyone to continue to survive and fight in order to have the life we desire. That person I'm talking about, her name is Nasi. In earlier times, my grandmother, who was born in Garut, July 7, 1939, it means my grandmother was born during the Dutch colonial period. Located in the village of Banyuresmi, Garut Regency with a fairly simple family. My grandmother is the seventh child of 13 siblings. Her father is Wirya, was a merchant, and her mother is Ani, was a housewife. My grandmother was the most independent and diligent person at her young age. Around 1940, as a child, her time was spent in the village. Before Indonesia proclaimed independence, there were allied forces that attacked and oppressed the village. Many residents in the village were tortured and arrested by the allied forces, which made the incident continue to be remembered and imprinted on her heart and mind, and traumatized my grandmother until now. Fortunately, she and her family always managed to escape from the Dutch army. They had run and hid very far into the forest and wells. At an unexpected time, that incident seemed to have become a daily habit at that time. On August 7, 1945, finally, Indonesia became independent from colonialism by proclaiming its independence. One day, she attended one of the primary schools in the village in 1948 at the age of 9 years. But when she was in 3rd grade, she suddenly wanted to move to the city of Bandung to live there with her sister named Yuni. Finally, her wish was approved by her parents. Then she went to Bandung and moved to school there, namely elementary school GAMBIR. Sometimes when she contemplates, she remembers her siblings in the village and also her parents. After graduated from elementary school, she continued her education at Junior High School 5 Bandung in 1954. She was a beautiful, smart, and diligent student, especially in English and mathematics. At her school, there was one of her favorite teachers named Van Hennep as an English teacher. 3 years later, in 1957, she continued to SGA, High School Teacher Bandung, of course because she wanted to be a teacher. My grandmother studied very hard and diligently. Of course, she got good grades and got a lot of champions at her school. Then, after graduated, she continued to study at the Teacher Training and Education Institute or IKIP Bandung for 3 semesters. In 1961, my grandmother had a crush on someone she found and got the man she loved named Effendi, and they finally got married in Bandung. She gave birth to her first child in 1962, followed in the following years. Eventually, they have 5 children, including 4 daughters and 1 son, which is my father. Her daily life is taking care of and guiding her children as well, while working as a civil servant teacher in English and mathematics at the elementary and middle school levels. My grandmother also got the title of the best teacher in her school. In 2013, when I was in elementary school, my grandmother went on a pilgrimage with her sister to Makkah with travel services for worship. Time flies so fast in 2022. Alhamdulillah, my grandmother is still healthy, happy and fit at the age of 83 years, and now she has 8 grandchildren, including me, and 6 great-grandchildren. So that's all for a brief history of my grandmother's life experience that motivate and inspire me. Can be seen my grandmother is a strong person in the face of obstacles, always keeps her spirit going through her all days, continues to study diligently to achieve her dream, which is to become a teacher with the determination to be an example for everyone, continue to provide useful knowledge for her students. And my grandmother is a child who is devoted to her parents, always loves her siblings, take care of her children and her grandchild, of course. Also many of her life stories can be good examples and role models for me now and for everyone. So that's all. Thank you.